As expected, most senators are saying that they want to wait and see what Judge Sotomayor will say at her confirmation hearings before they decide how they're going to vote. This is understandable, I suppose, but from my experience, what a nominee says during his or her hearing, while certainly not irrelevant, is one of the least important considerations upon which senators should base their vote. A nominee's judicial and professional record, along with their public statements and reputation for integrity, are much more reliable indicators as to the kinds of judge they'll be. Our founding fathers recognized this early on, and it's the main reason confirmation hearings were not even held on a regular basis until the 1950s. There are two things that work against any substantive new information being revealed in a confirmation hearing. First, a nominee can and should refuse to go very far in giving their opinion regarding any legal issue that might come before the Supreme Court in the future. That, of course, covers just about any legal issue. Second, in 1987, the distinguished jurist Robert Bork refused to subject himself to the usual dog and pony Q&A, how to handle the senator's sessions now given to nominees in preparation for their hearings, the so-called murder board. During the hearings, he engaged in an open and candid dialogue with regard to his judicial philosophy. Well, we know how that turned out. The odds are great that never again will a nominee make the mistake of committing candor. For some time now, everyone's understood the name of the game. Take as much off the table as possible as inappropriate for discussion. Then dance around the rest. When you get to a question that you're expected to answer, try to sound as knowledgeable as possible on the subject, but play for time and never say anything committee members would find objectionable. So the process is basically for the purpose of giving the nominee an opportunity to commit a gaffe or other unforced error. Then the nominee may be denied confirmation, not so much for their lack of qualifications or even their judicial philosophy, but for their not being clever or artful enough to win the game. I would suggest that for a person to be judged on the basis of a few days of practice self-serving comments instead of their entire life and record is absurd. And to think that their service on the Supreme Court would be consistent with their statements instead of their record is inconsistent with both logic and experience.